After you've finished your background design, it's going to be time to bring in the picture of yourself that you've taken. What we're going to do is just drag that photo right into your document here. So just click and drag, bring it in. Now, based on where it is, it may be on a layer that's way below certain things. So I'm just going to drag that up to the top. Got this other version of myself there that I was practicing with. I'll get rid of. So with this layer selected, so you'll see it's highlighted, I'm going to be able to use Photoshop to do a real quick cutout of myself. I can Control- on my keyboard to see all of myself. I'm going to go to one of the select tools. So over here on the left-hand side, there's a select tool. Now this is one of the new things that is in Photoshop. We're first going to start by just clicking Select Subject. With the layer selected of ourselves, Photoshop did its best to try to figure out what the background is and what the subject is. So in this case, it actually worked pretty great. Then I'm going to click on Select and Mask. From there, we're going to have some different options for how to adjust things. I'm going to suggest that you move the edge detection up just a little bit, maybe around 3 to 5 pixels, and then even use the Smart Radius checkbox. That'll help to make it so we can have the edges of ourselves be a little more crisp. Then, on the left-hand side here, we've got some different painting tools. The one that you'll probably want to use is called the Refine Edge Brush tool. With that tool selected, you might consider zooming in close to your hair and painting right along the edge of your hair. You'll see that Photoshop is able to determine if there's small hairs or edges that were not selected in the original selection. Don't paint along the inside of yourself, but instead right along the edge of yourself, especially if you have hair that is kind of sticking out just a little bit from your head. So Photoshop will be able to select that a little bit more. The other thing that I tend to do is over in the global refinements area. I tend to move the contrast up just a little bit. And from there, I go down to the OK button. What you'll see now is that Photoshop has been able to make this selection all around ourselves. And it made it a lot faster than the old way of making selections. So it's usually a good first step is to try this easier method. Now to make it so that the rest of the background goes away and it's just myself, I'm going to click on this small button right here in our Layers palette. This stands for Adding a Layer Mask. Once I click that, it'll keep whatever's within my selection and it will get rid of the things that are not part of my selection. From there, if you notice that something is missing on yourself, you can, with the layer mask selected, which is what I have highlighted right here, not the picture, the layer mask, go back to the brush tool, which we'd used for the background of our artwork here. Black paints things away, white brings them back. If it's not already set to black and white, you can click right here and it will auto set to black and white. So black gets rid of things, right? I don't really want to do that, but then white brings them back. So you can fine-tune your layer mask if you're noticing something is missing, just by painting it back in. Again, white brings it back, black makes it go away. Once you're happy with how the cutout of yourself looks, you'll switch to the Move tool, which is the top tool right here, and you can move yourself around within your artwork. To resize yourself, go Control-T on your keyboard. Then you can use one of the corner edges to move yourself to be larger or smaller and move yourself into place. Most students have, with this artwork, tried to make it so that the cutout of yourself doesn't look strange. So having yourself kind of along that bottom edge, I'm missing part of my arm here, so I may even kind of move myself over to the edge of the frame here, so it makes sense. Click Enter, and you cut yourself out, and you're ready for the next step.